Welcome to the Nutrigenomic Nation podcast with Brian Highfield, certified nutritionist, author, speaker, and founder of multiple successful companies in the health world. Brian is known for educating healthcare professionals and others on improving their health and their life through breakthroughs in nutrition, technology, and biochemistry. On the podcast, Brian interviews thought leaders in the world of nutrition and natural health. He and his guests share the secrets of a whole life natural approach to health and the life-altering results you can get by making easy changes to your diet and daily routine.
All right, welcome to Nutrigenomic Nation, where we talk about nutritional-based healthcare technology and emerging trends related to your genetic health. So I'm very excited today. We got a very special guest. We have Dr. Billy DeMoss. So Dr. Billy D, we like to call him.
Yeah, Billy D's fine. Yeah,
Billy D. He's the owner and lead chiropractor at DeMoss Chiropractic. And his goal as a chiropractor is to educate and empower people with an understanding of how the human body functions so that wise decisions can be made about their health and well-being. But besides being a chiropractor, Billy D, he's an educator, he's a speaker, wellness expert, a musician, surfer, snowboarder. Man, you do it all. And he's a researcher.
I don't golf. I'm horrible at golf.
Well, I won't hold that against you. That's one of my big things. But man, I admire anybody who can surf and snowboard for sure. But welcome to the program, Billy D.
I appreciate you having me on, and we'll mix it up today a little bit.
Awesome. We can't wait. So my first question is we want to get to know you a little bit. I mean, tell our audience, what made you want to be a chiropractor?
Well, before we do that, because I don't want to forget that, not only run the practice here in Newport Beach, but we have we have the biggest chiropractic convention in the world that we put on every year here in California called California Jam, where we have everybody from Joe Mercola to Josh Axe to Alex Jones to, you could go through a whole list of superstars in the health and alternative health world, and also things that are considered conspiracy theories, which used to be considered conspiracy theories that are now coming true. So this year we had to cancel it because of the COVID scam, because we do it in an Orange County Performing Arts Center, and they only would accommodate a quarter of our crowd, which would not make sense from a financial standpoint. But what got me into chiropractic? Well, I was telling you before we went on that I was originally a biochemistry major at Cal State Fullerton, and I really was into nutrition back when nutrition was literally considered quackery, just like chiropractic. They really didn't feel that whatever you ate had any effect on your overall health, which to me is just like crazy. And then, I was into the whole health thing. I was into juicing. I was eating mostly what was called back then a macrobiotic diet, which is basically just eating fish. And I ate a lot of brown rice and a lot of vegetables. And I juiced a lot of things, which were maybe not that great for me. I did more a hyperglycemic diet than I do now, which is a hypoglycemic diet now. And then I was introduced to chiropractic by looking at this thing called a Merrick chart, which showed the level of misalignment in the spine. So say your first vertebrae in the neck and what kind of effects it could have. And then if it was in the thoracic, it could affect the lungs and breathing. And if it was the lower back, it affects the large intestine and colon and bladder. So I was really intrigued by that chart, and it made a lot of sense to me. And then I was already groomed to be a dentist by my mom, who was a dental hygienist, and all four of her sons were groomed to be dentists. She wanted us all to be real doctors. And when I came home, after I changed my plans from going to dental school, which I'm so glad I didn't do that. And I'd been accepted at Loma Linda, USC, and University of Pacific in San Francisco. And then I told my mom, the first thing my mom said was that I was wasting my life. So because she had been brainwashed that chiropractors weren't real doctors and they were quacks. And now I couldn't be more proud of being a chiropractor now than ever, because you look at what medicine does and it's a joke, except for emergency crisis care, which they do a great job on. And from there, it's just been this roller coaster ride of just an amazing life that I've had. Like you said, I work really hard, but then I blow out and go to Indonesia, which is another reason I'm kind of upset with the scamdemic is because of the fact that we can't really travel as much as we used to. I have 2 boat trips that got canceled last year surfing. Last year when we were, it was last March, I was in Canada helicopter skiing or snowboarding, and they told us we weren't coming back. We had to stay there for 2 weeks, and that really didn't bother me that much. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell. I'm really excited to teach people the concepts of real health. And, once people see the light, then they understand how backwards and antiquated and really the medical system's broken. mean, there's certain factions of it that are worthwhile keeping, but the rest of it's a joke. Taking drugs to cover up symptoms is the most ridiculous way of dealing with health issues that I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah. And so let's dig in that a little bit. I mean, what are you passionate about right now in terms of people's health and using nutritional methods versus these overprescribed drugs?
Well, I'm really passionate about the whole scamdemic. In fact, I'm doing a talk tomorrow night with a good friend of mine, John Bergman, who's a huge YouTube star. We're doing a local event here in Huntington Beach. It's Saturday. I was down at an event with 1,400 people in a church, no mask. I want people to understand that scam, because if we don't get over that scam, I don't care what you eat, because the world will be over.
Yeah.
If as we know it. I mean, and again, if you understand the vaccine, which is really scary. So I'm out teaching about the vaccine. I don't want to call myself an anti-vaxxer. I'm actually a pro thinker. I'm somebody that can see the light. I'm just not, you just come down to common sense and just gut feeling. Sticking a needle in a baby or sticking a needle in me ain't going to happen, bro. And it's just, if you want to do that, I've done the research. I was a chemistry major. As I said, I understand chemistry and physiology and biochemistry. And I look at the health of kids today. It's deplorable. 54% of kids have some type of chronic disease that needs medication. And again, if you look at the whole medical model, let's force vaccinate everybody, make them get vaccinated. And then when they get sick, we put them on all, and then they got the whole back end business selling all the ADHD drugs, the psoriasis drugs, the asthmatic drugs, just the whole gamut of all the issues kids are having today. Are being treated with drugs and not, again, I personally, first, you shouldn't do it, but if you've done it, then you need to detoxify the system using basically a lot of nutritional stuff. So
yeah, and that's what I noticed. I mean, this whole year, not a single government official got up and talked about what you should eat, any nutritional benefits of building your immune system. It was all about hiding from the virus. It's all about masks. It's all about rubber gloves and staying home and just hiding from this virus. No one talked about immune system health or anything nutritional at all.
Right. And it's all about vibration to me. I mean, that's what I talk about with my peeps in my practice is that, if you eat a high vibratory diet and you have high vibratory thought, positive feelings, joy, love, all those are and then I'm really big on sleep and I'm big on chiropractic, removing interference to the expression of energy that flows over the nervous system. Your brain communicates to your body through your nervous system, and when there's interference there, it's going to lower your frequency. And again, then you get things like vitamin D, getting out in the sun. Everything they've done is to compromise your immune system by isolating us and we no longer have social interaction and wearing the mask and hiding the smile and almost in a sense denigrating and demeaning us into this tyranny of following specific orders, which make no sense at all, because your body was designed to interact with this environment. That's how you build natural immunity. If really wanted to get this thing over, it would go out and get herd immunity by the healthy people going out and taking the brunt of it. And then if there are people that are susceptible, have them quarantine. That would make sense in a rational world. But we knew from the very beginning, like I called it the day it came out. I said, it's just a scam to push a vaccine. That's all this is about. They don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They don't give a shit about any of that stuff. All they care about is selling their vaccine to you to really make you sick and also lower your IQ so that you can be more controlled and put you into your future enslavement. And I know that's hard for some people to accept, but that's the truth. You've been lied to. The CIA's whole objective has been to disinform everyone. Their whole agenda of disinformation will be complete when everything that the American public believes is false. And again, it's stated there. That's their mission statement, to get people to just be subservient to tyranny. And again, I've been watching videos on the whole vaccine, everything from Sherry Tenpenny to the new dude who's on the block, Gert, I can't even say his last name, and Dr. Coleman from the UK, just saying how demonic this new vaccine is. And I think the goal for the global elite is to depopulate the planet. And I don't want to be one of the people in that subset of people they're getting rid of. But if you look at how detrimental that vaccine could be, it could really wipe out a huge amount of people in the United States and on the planet.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, if people are coming to you today and just in general, just they want to improve their health, I mean, what are you telling people? You mentioned before, sleep, good nutrition. I mean, what specifically are you telling people that they need to do to really feel better?
Well, I used to have 5 factors of health, but in this world, I've got it up to 8 or even 9 now. Like I'm right after this, I'm going to do a podcast with a dude on EMF. I think you should shield yourself from a lot of EMF. I'm one of those crazy dudes that never, ever got a cell phone. I don't have a TV set. Those to me are bioweapons that are, again, lowering your frequency and creating disharmony in your body and dis-ease in your body, especially things like brain tumors. That I've already lost 3 friends to brain cancer, which were the early adopters to the cell phone. I'd never understood why you would want to talk on your phone in your car, because I've never really liked talking on the phone, period. I'm big on, like you said, nutrition. I eat a really low glycemic diet with a lot of superfoods. So I get people to upregulate their function and frequencies by using things like maca cacao, spirulina, chlorella, bee pollen, royal jelly, shilajit, all. And again, just maximize your nutrition. I juice low glycemic vegetables. I put those in the Vitamix. I throw a whole thing of, mixed greens in there, avocados. And then that's the way I eat. I eat super clean wild fish. I'm not eating any meat or dairy right now, just something I'm trying out for a while. And I'm in as good a shape as I was when I was in literally high school. And then surfing is one of those things that keeps me in super good shape. And so does snowboarding. I mean, we go hard. I haven't slowed down. I'm 62, going to be 63 in May. And then, I'm big on the sleep thing. I built a whole sleep sanctuary at my house, which is really just a Faraday cage. All the walls are painted with black carbon paint. The walls are grounded. There's no electrical stuff in the room. I have a alarm clock in there with batteries in it that I don't really even need to use because I usually wake up. The windows are filled in with drywall. It's hardcore, dude. It's a room just for sleeping. To maximize sleep. And I sleep on a grounded mat, which is a Beamer that I sleep on every day. I have grounded sheets on it. So I'm big in grounding. I'm big into CBD and cannabis and using essential oils. I'm big.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. I know you've researched that quite a bit, and that's become more popular. I mean, these CBD places are popping up all over the places, and people are like, well, what's good and what's bad in terms of the CBD and cannabis world?
I think you need, I have a product that I sell because I've been, like I tell people jokingly, I'm just jumping on the CBD bandwagon because it's the new green rush. You know what I'm saying? People get into it just because of the money. I've actually had an intimate relationship with the plant since high school. I was a surfer, a musician. It was just something that was part of my life. And I never really understood why that was bad, and alcohol and cigarettes and everything else was, and eating. I mean, people eat worse things, you look at the crap people eat. I would never eat that crap. And for me, I think what it has is opened my mind to actually see through all the BS in this world. It kind of takes a lot of the filters off and kind of makes you question things. And I'm not advocating people do it for the psychoactive parts of it, but I'm saying for me, it's never really affected me. I'm definitely not amotivated. I've got more energy than, like I tell people, a hummingbird on crack cocaine about getting stuff done. I mean, I was researching stuff till 1 a.m. last night. I mean, I'm very motivated. So again, I think what it has the tendency to do is really, increase whatever your drives are in your life. So if you're a musician, it really helps. But again, I don't want to get into that aspect. In fact, everybody has this taboo about actually enjoying your life and laughing and things like that and listening to music. But for the medicinal aspects, it's great for anxiety, sleep. It's great for killing cancer cells. It's great for inflammation. It's probably the best anti-inflammatory on the planet. So that's why you get these amazing results with it. And there are different cannabinoids in the plant, and different plants have varying levels of these different cannabinoids. So the products we have is a hemp plant, which is in the family of cannabis, but it has very low THC, and it has to be under 0.3% to be legally sold. And, but the thing is, I want people to understand, if you really want to get the benefits from CBD, you have to have a full spectrum plant. You should get a clean source of CBD, preferably organic. And again, you're going to want to look at what specific problem you're trying to work with, or let's say this, what kind of specific problem you're trying to balance, because you have a system in your body called the endocannabinoid system, which really controls and supersedes even your nervous system. So anything you can do to enhance that and bring that back into homeostasis is going to affect harmony in your body and dysregulate a lot of the symptoms that you may be going through, whether Again, a lot of people are living their lives in stress, which is merely a fancy way of saying you're in sympathetic dominance, you're in fight or flight. So anything you can do to push the body out of sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic is going to create miracles in your life, because it's going to, like if there's a tiger in your room, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have high blood pressure, you're going to have insomnia, you're going to have digestive issues, you're going to have sleep issues, all those. Your body just isn't meant to be in sympathetic dominance. It's meant to heal in parasympathetic, which is rest and digest. And that's what chiropractic does. That's where we get miracles in chiropractic too. You get somebody out of pain, you get rid of nerve interference. What it's going to do is push them from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And that's what I do in my practice. We measure you pre and post with HRV, heart rate variability, to see where you're at in sympathetic load. And then through a series of adjustments, we recheck you, and we'll see 99% of the time people have shifted into parasympathetic. So
let's talk, let's switch topics a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about anti-aging. I mean, what'd you say, how old are you? 60?
63 in 2 months.
I mean, you don't look your age at all.
Well, if you went surfing with me, you wouldn't think it either, or snowboarding. In fact, I just went snowboarding at Mammoth last week, and I'm going, I haven't slowed down one bit. I want to say I still rip, but the problem is I feel it more afterwards. I don't think we heal as fast. And that's where the Beamer comes in for me, because it helps open up that circulation. And then getting adjusted is like all trips I take. I always make sure there's other chiropractors on the trip, or I'm the only one not getting adjusted if I'm the only chiropractor.
Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously don't look your age, and obviously being active is key to that. And you're super active in a lot of different things. But what else? You mentioned a few other things, but I mean, nobody wants to get old. I mean, getting old sucks. What can the normal person do besides staying active, being well rested, the nutritional aspects? I mean, what are the keys there?
I think it's just get your body out of stress and move into that parasympathetic zone all ways you can. And that's what CBD does in cannabis. I'm big, like I said, in essential oils. I don't know if I got that in. I'm big on all the medicinal mushrooms, especially for cognitive issues that people are having. I do hyperbaric at least once a week. I have a hyperbaric chamber here. I go in there and meditate, lay on the Beamer on that. But I think the thing that most people miss is the chiropractic issue. I mean, I don't get adjusted because I'm in pain. I get adjusted to remove interference so my body can express at its highest potential. But what people understand is adjustment not only helps realign and change posture, but what it does is it puts motion back in the spine, because as we age, we lose mobility it's almost like your body's growing these stalactites over the vertebrae and creating this osteoarthritic spurring, which really starts to limit your range of motion, and your posture goes south as well. What chiropractic really does is it has us go back more into extension, because people live in a flexion where they're on their handheld devices all day working on computers and flexion. And what I teach people is we need to work on extension and opening up. And then, like I said, again, the adjustments create mobility in the spine, which keeps the disc healthy. And if the disc stays healthy, it's not going to degenerate and decay, because as that happens, you're going to lose mobility. But more importantly, it's going to shut down nerve flow, because there's nerves that come out between each vertebrae. And those big fat discs are there to provide a big opening for the nerve. And as that nerve opening gets closed down, it's basically like a big dimmer switch, and it turns the power down to your body. And also, one of the biggest aspects of having proper motion in the spine is not only to keep the disc happy and healthy, but there's mechanoreceptors, little muscle fibers in the spine that when you move, it fires to the brain to keep your brain healthy. So we know as your posture goes south and you go into flexion, like you see those old ladies or old men with the big dowager humps, and they've lost 3-4 inches of their spine, it's because nobody taught them to take care of the spine. Just like you brush and floss, like I've never had a cavity, I've never had a filling, only because my mom made us take care of our teeth. But people understand.
Family dentist there, right?
What's that?
You have a family of dentists.
No, that's what happened. All my brothers became chiropractors. None of them became dentists. My mom got pissed at me. Well, I got pissed at her because she thought I was wasting my life. I go, okay, we'll play this game. I'll make all your sons become chiropractors. And then now my parents get it. They just been brainwashed away. And the thing is, I try to get people to understand, you know, we've been vilified by medicine for years, and a lot of people still cling on to that. We're quacks and charlatans. I don't think there's a bigger quack profession than medicine in my entire life.
And it's huge.
I mean, you don't have high blood pressure because you have a shortage of lisinopril in your blood. You don't have cholesterol just because you don't have enough, you know, cholesterol meds. It's because you're not living congruent to your gene expression. You're not eating right. You're not getting out and getting into movement. You're not grounding yourself. You're not detoxing. You know, there's just, and I forgot to mention, that's another thing. I detox a lot too. So
yeah. Tell us a little bit about the event that you mentioned. I mean, what you couldn't have it last year. Are you planning on doing it this year?
No, we had it last year. We pulled it off by the skin of my teeth. Okay. I do it in this amazing, it's called the Orange County Performing Arts Center. It's probably one of the nicest venues you'll ever go. It's where they have all the plays and ballets and the symphonies there. It's all velvet seats. I mean, it's like 5-star Ritz-Carlton level shit that we're doing there.
Yeah.
And I hire a production team that work with Prince and the Eagles. They do all the music and sound and lighting. And again, it cost me about, I would say, close to $500,000 to put the event on. But then we have great sponsors. We have booths with vendors at it. But I have the most amazing lineup of speakers every year. We had Russell Brand last year.
Nice.
I just got off, I did a podcast with David Icke. I mean, all my heroes, I get involved. Alex Jones. I mean, some people don't like Alex, but that's okay. I do. He's one of the guys that opened my eyes. Everybody from Andrew Wakefield to Sherry Tenpenny to Suzanne Humphreys to all the amazing chiropractors that are out there, from Devin Verana to Tim O'Shea to Tim Young to Paul Reed. I could go on and on. Steve Judson. All these great, amazing chiropractors come, and we come once a year to an event where I have speakers in a TED format going over whatever I feel is pertinent. They go over, whether it's EMF, whether it's geoengineering, or whether it's glyphosate, or whatever it is I want them to go over. And then between the speakers, I'm in a band with my brothers, and we play rock and roll. That's how it got its name, California Jam, from the 1974 event in Ontario. And our music also has pertinence to whatever topics we're going over. So if we're doing something like, we have an anti-vaccine song, old Black Sabbath song, Children of the Grave.
Now, is this just for chiropractors, or can anybody go?
No, the funny thing is I originally designed it for chiropractors. And then I started to find out that there were so many people in the general public that loved it as much, if not more, than the chiropractors. Because there's a little bit of jealousy in the profession sometimes in chiropractic, that if you're doing something, people don't want to partake in it, especially if it's now the biggest. BJ Palmer wrote something. It was called the penalty of leadership. It's just, so sometimes when you stick your neck out, you're going to get a little bit of flogging from people. Yeah. They round up and they shoot inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Round up the wagon train.
Absolutely. Well, we're running out of time, but I want to know, how can our audience get in touch with you or follow you?
Well, you can follow me at Billy DeMoss on Facebook. I've been in and out of Facebook jail, as you can probably tell. I've been out for 3 weeks now. I haven't done anything wrong.
Congratulations.
I'm learning how to get through the system and the algorithms a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I want people to know the truth. And again, anything that's censored on Facebook or on social media is stuff you should read, because that's the real shit. I also have a website called drbillyd.com, where you can put your email in there. And then I do stuff that I can't put on Facebook and social media. I send you that. I send out videos typically once a week. We send out emails there about where I'm speaking and where I'm going to be and what's going on, because I've been going to chiropractors' office lately and get them motivated to tell the story, or the whole shit house is coming down. I'm on Instagram. What else do we do? That's pretty much it. And then I'm here in Newport Beach, California, which is a beautiful place to be. It's very red here, if I can say that, but we don't have homeless people like we do and again, I'm not saying homeless is good or bad. I'm just saying we take care of people here. And at the same time, we're not locked down. I haven't worn a mask the whole time. All the people in my practice don't wear masks. It's just because we all get it. We know the agenda. You can reach me here at 949-250-0600, or you can send me an email. The best email is maryjane@caljam.org. And it's not Mary Jane the plant, it's Mary Jane, my wife. So she takes care of all, because I've never done it.
There.
Yeah, maryjane@caljam.org. And then you can visit our website for California Jam. It's caljam.org. And then we also have a network, which is like Netflix. It's got all the Cal Gems on there, all the meetings we have in our office, primarily for chiropractors, but I know the general public would like as much as well. It's calgemnetwork.org. We're going to be doing a weekend release of the top 15 speakers. I just did 56 podcasts with a bunch of leaders in the profession. So, and you know what that's like.
Yeah.
I think I did it in like 5 weeks. So it was just like 4 and 5 a day. It was just, I don't know how people sit in front of these computers all day. So I don't do it. So
yeah. Phenomenal. It's just amazing. Well, cool. I really appreciate you being on the program here. I know our audience really enjoyed this, listening to you here and everything you had to say here. So from all of us at Nutrigenomic Nation, I hope our audience enjoyed our discussion today, and we hope you join us next time when we discuss another topic related to your good health. Thank you so much, Billy D.
Peace out.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.